Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar. Then we'll run through the UK Met Office run, have a look at the precipitation and temperature over the next 5 days, and then we'll have a look at the medium to longer range, have a look at the GFS, GM, Eastern GF and the ensembles, as it looks like we could be going very hot towards the middle to end of this next working week. And into next weekend it could be incredibly hot for a few days, especially for areas in the south. It's looking quite likely now we're going to be seeing temperatures rise into the high 20s for the majority of England and Wales, and could even be further northwards as well. And there is a chance, not a small chance, a pretty moderate chance now, we do see temperatures dip into the 30s. There is potential to get up to maybe towards the mid-30s, but at this stage the most likely scenario is seeing temperatures peaking somewhere in central southern England in around sort of 30 to 33 degrees come the end of next working week, as we've seen this incredibly hot air mass come up the 20-degree isotherm, something we rarely see. Some summers we never see it at all, and we've only really seen it a few times over the course of the last sort of decade or so. Or last few decades, really. So it is an extreme air mass that could be moving up from the south. So we'll have a look at the likelihood, the intensity, the severity, and the longevity of this potential little heat wave next week. So remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure to like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. So if we do look on the live radar, you can see there are plenty of showers around, especially further northwards and westwards, and that's what we've been highlighting in the videos for the last few days. The majority of the precipitation, cooler, windier conditions further northwards and westwards, drier and warmer further south and eastwards. But there are a few showers across the Midlands into central southern England, isolated, but still some heavy pulses of rain within that. But the majority of the rain, as I said, is across Scotland, Republic and Northern Ireland. And you've got some persistent rain in the far northwest of of Scotland as well. Accompanied by quite strong winds as well, as we still have that low pressure that was associated with ex-tropical storm Alex just to our north, and it is spiralling these showers and some windy conditions. Now, if we do have a look at the temperatures as of around sort of 3:45, you can see it's very warm in the far east. Away from cooler air masses coming in from the west, it is very warm from north east England, down East Anglia into central southern England, the southeast, even parts of southwest, seeing these oranges coming up. We see these darker reds and even pinks. These are going to be spreading northwards over the coming few days and could be arriving in the UK by sort of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week. Could be incredibly hot. So, if we do have a look at the UK Met Office run, have a look at the precipitation and temperature over the next 5 days. Now, you can see this afternoon those showers in mainly the north and the west. And as we move beyond that into Sunday afternoon, you can see again showers in the north and west, drier in the south and the east. And again, as we head into Monday, less showers around, but perhaps a little bit of thicker cloud and maybe some persistent rain in the far west and northwest of Scotland. And as we head into Tuesday as well, we do see precipitation moving into the far west of Scotland and north part of Scotland as well. But again, pretty dry further south and eastwards. And as we head into Wednesday, it could start to turn very hot from the south. Very, very hot indeed. And you can see precipitation still lingering in the far north and west, but it is petering out. And as I said, those temperatures will be increasing massively in the south. Now, if we have a look at those upper air temperatures towards the south, towards Wednesday, you can see it's around 10 to 13 degrees at 850 HPA. We'll have a look at the 2 meter temperatures in a minute, but you have to take this into account. It's only 10 to 12 degrees at 850 HPA, maybe 13, 14 degrees. And you can see the sort of 50-degree isotherm is just in northern France. We're likely to peak later next week in around that 20-degree isotherm. So good 5 degrees plus on this. So take that into account when you see these 2 meter temperatures in a minute. So you can see this afternoon temperatures peaking in around that sort of low 20s, 20 to maybe 24 degrees in a few spots in sort of Essex and East Anglia. As we head into Sunday, you see those temperatures potentially rise again to around 20 to 22 degrees. And Monday, we see those temperatures once again around that 20 to 21 degree mark for quite a few areas in England. And as we head to Tuesday, starting to warm up a little bit more, maybe 21 to 23 degrees, looking quite nice. And by Wednesday afternoon, really starting to hot up, widespread mid-20s, around that 24 to 27 degree mark for quite a few areas. And remember, we have the 10-degree isotherm in, maybe the 12-degree isotherm across the far south coast. We're likely to get to between 15 and 20 degree isotherm in later that later this coming week, so could be getting up towards that 30 degree, low 30 or even mid 30 degree range. So, if we do now have a look at the GFS run, have a look at what it's showing for precipitation, for the pressure charts and the temperatures as well, upper air temperatures, and we might even have a look at surface temperatures in the longer term as well. So you can see low pressure moving in from the north, high pressure out to our east, low pressure out in the Atlantic. We start to draw up a very warm air mass towards Wednesday and Thursday. We'll run back and have a look at the upper air mass in a minute, but if we move beyond that, you do see we eventually go a bit more westerly. So it is short-lived, a bit of a northerly or northwesterly flow there. It's a short-lived burst of real heat, but nonetheless, it could be giving very hot temperatures. And beyond that, we generally actually go into more of a northerly flow, really quite cold, chilly conditions towards the end of June. But, as I said, this is in the longer range, so it is unlikely to come off exactly like this, and we'd only really look at this reliably if it was within the 10-day time frame. We go to day 10 and we're under higher pressure. So if we do run it back and have a look at the air masses, just briefly, look at the upper air masses, you can see very hot air starting to arrive by Thursday, or Wednesday, Thursday, 20 degrees firm takes over the country. Very hot indeed, before getting swept away quite quickly by Sunday into a cooler air mass, down towards a couple degrees upper air temperature. So 15 to 20 degree temperature drop, and it could be associated with major thunderstorms. But we're not too close to the time, so we're not going to have a look at those in too much detail at this stage, as they are, of course, convective in nature, so very difficult to forecast more than a day or two ahead, let alone a week ahead. If we do run it back and have a look at the United Kingdom look, and if we do go to the 3-hour time intervals, you can see by Wednesday we got the 10 degree isotherm in, increasingly getting hotter, and by Friday afternoon we have the 20 degree isotherm in, 22 degree isotherm through early hours of the morning, perhaps in the far south, southeast, but it does get pushed away quite quickly by early hours of Saturday into Sunday. So it'll still be hot, but the peak temperatures could be coming on Friday. And if we do have a look at those peak temperatures, 2 meter temperatures, you can see as we head into Friday, 28 degrees by 9 a.m. Incredibly hot, and by 3 p.m, widespread high 20s, low 30s, maybe 34 degrees in the London area, and you can see across northern France getting towards the 40 degree mark. Impeccably hot there, ridiculously hot for the middle of June, as this is ridiculously hot air mass potentially moving in. Again, it will predominantly be hot in the south and the east, just because of where the air mass is coming from the north and westwards. Still be warm, still getting up into the 20 degrees, but maybe only low 20s, only maybe 22 to 23 degrees. So if you're in Ireland, parts of Scotland, it's not going to be incredibly hot, but it's going to be still pretty warm. So if we do move on to the GEM run, see how that does compare. Again, you've got high pressure building into the east over the coming days, low pressure out to the west, big warm air mass coming in later this week, and then it does break down with a bit of a northerly flow towards day 10. So GEM goes northerly at day 10, so pretty chilly indeed, but for the time being, it's very hot into next week. And you have a look at those upper air temperatures, you can see big hot air mass moves up from the south, 20 degree isotherm, just skimming the far south, but majority of England and Wales getting into the 15 degree isotherm, so hot enough to give high 20s before it does get moved away. Now, if we do run it back and have a look at the United Kingdom look, of course, again, you can see really running in, and sort of if we go to the 3-hour in time interval as well, you can see real hot air running in from the south, getting up towards 20 degrees at 850 HPA before getting swept away. So very hot air mass moving in, but only for a couple of days. When we have a look at those 2 meter temperatures, you see by Thursday, widespread mid to high 20s, potentially touching on 30 degrees, and by Friday afternoon, widespread low 30s through many areas of central southern England into parts of Wales. 30 to 31 degrees. Wouldn't be surprised if we got towards sort of 33, 34 degrees in a few spots, as again, these are relatively low resolution when it comes to temperatures, and most likely will be hotter in a few spots. And you can see across northern France getting up towards 37 degrees. So I wouldn't be surprised if this does come off to see 40 degrees in France perhaps, and maybe 35 degrees in parts of England, potentially, if we do see this really, really hot air mass come off. So if we do now have a look at the ECMWF, see how that does compare. Again, you see the high pressure building to our east, low pressure out in the Atlantic, very hot air mass coming up from the south, and as we head into day 10, we do bring in that northerly airflow. So it could go from very warm, very hot, to pretty chilly in the space of only a few days. So definitely signs perhaps beyond this hot spell in around a week's time or 5 to 7 days time, it does go chillier once again. So that is something you do need to keep an eye on. But of course, with the big temperature contrast, big temperature change could spark huge, huge thunderstorms. So if we do run it back and have a look at the 850 HPA temperatures, we do zoom into the United Kingdom, look, go to the 3-hour intervals, you can see not too bad by Wednesday. That's when we could be seeing mid-20s, maybe high 20s. But as we head towards Thursday and Friday, incredibly hot air mass moving in. The 20-degree isotherm is in for quite a lot of central, southern, southwestern and eastern England. Maybe the 20-degree isotherm, the 22-degree isotherm coming in. You see the 24-degree isotherm is just near Guernsey and Jersey across northern France before getting pushed away. Massive temperature contrast, and there would be huge thunderstorms within this. Absolutely humongous thunderstorms, and that is something we do need to keep an eye on. A massive sort of 20-degree temperature contrast over the course from sort of parts of western Wales to eastern England. Incredible temperature contrast there, because it could feel massive storms. And if we do run it back and just have a look at those 2-meter temperatures, again, through Friday, it's going to be hot, mid-20s. And again, it does look like, unfortunately, the Eastern DF, this range only can do midday to 6 p.m. So you can see by Saturday, 28, 29 degrees. That's 12, and by 6 p.m, 29 degrees again. So most likely would peak around 31 degrees between midday and 6 p.m. So ECWF, again, getting into the low 30s. So, if we do finish the video by just have a look at the ensembles, we start with the GFS ensembles. You can see around average over the next couple of days, low 20s, in the best areas in the south and east, cooler further north and westwards, but you see those temperatures rapidly rise in around the 15th of June and are massively above average, 15 to 20 degrees at 850 HPA in the longer term. Incredibly hot before returning towards average, maybe even slightly below average around the 20th or 21st of June. And with that, massive precipitation spikes, so we could be seeing a big thundery breakdown and returns to around average for the foreseeable future and a bit unsettled. So it does look like this sort of dry spell we're seeing in the south and east is going to culminate in a massive heat spike towards the middle of June before breaking down very quickly and going unsettled and thundery. But most of the ensemble members, or all of them, are above average, and quite a few of them are getting towards that 15 to 20 degree range, which is incredibly hot. If you look at the 2-meter temperatures, so that was the Eastern DF ensembles. Let me just specify. If we look at the 2-meter temperatures, again, getting up to the mid to high 20s, if not low 30s, incredibly hot once again. And if we do move to the GFS ensembles, again, very hot. Majority of the ensemble members are above the average in this period. Pretty much all of them are, and getting towards that 15 to 20 degree isotherm area. And you can see big thundery breakdown potentially starting to appear with temperatures returning to around or slightly below average for the longer term. So it's looking like it could be going very hot next week. Over the next couple of days, we will start to have a look at these temperatures in more detail. Again, as they come into the shorter resolution model time frame, we will be very much able to pinpoint that highest temperature. But at the moment, it's looking like low 30s is very doable, and widespread high 20s for quite a few. Now, it is only going to last a few days. It doesn't look like it's going to be sustained by any means, but could be quite hot from around Wednesday to Saturday, Sunday next week. So maybe 3 to 5 days of above sort of maybe heat wave threshold. So heat wave thresholds around 27, 28 degrees in the far southeast, and more widely 25 degrees. So it's likely to be around or above that heat wave threshold for at least the London area, sort of central, southern and eastern England, for around 3 to 5 days. So it could be a 3 to 5 day sort of heat spike coming here. So please make sure you do stay tuned. Could be some weather warnings coming in force. Maybe the heat warning that we saw introduced last time. That could be coming, but we'll just have to see over the next couple of days. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.